Let me begin by posing a question. Would you board a train without knowing if there was someone in the locomotive responsible for getting you to where you wanted to go? Today we're going to discuss the benefits of sound engineering. Hello, my name is Paul Christopher, Senior Engineer with Atlanta Soundworks, and this is Tech Talk Tuesday. Stay tuned and I'll explain. So, how does the question I posed relate to the topic of sound engineering? I want to approach it through etymology of the term sound engineer. Let's start with the word sound. Sound has multiple meanings. Let's consider a couple. Of course, sound is something that is heard. Vibrations are induced into the air or other medium and heard when they reach the ear. Sound can also mean reliable, well-founded, or sensible, as in sound judgment or sound advice. Let's move on to the word engineer. Let's take it from the end. The EER suffix in the English language takes an action or object and associates it to a person engaged in an activity. Examples are auctioneer, person who administers an auction, or musketeer, a soldier who carries a musket. The first part of the word in our case is engine. An engine is a machine, a motor, something with moving parts that converts power into motion. In a more expanded sense, a machine can be represented by complex systems, structures, gadgets, or technology, anything that fulfills a functional objective. Interestingly, consider technology giant IBM. IBM stands for International Business Machines, right? So a computer is in fact a type of machine. Now we can ascertain that an engineer is a person that's associated with an engine. The association may be design, fabrication, operation, or maintenance. In my opinion, the operator of a locomotive represents the purest definition of the word. Unless you think that this engineer suggests a different meaning of the word than an engineer who works in an office and sits in front of a computer, I would argue otherwise. They are the same, only different in application. Moving on, let's consider what the locomotive engineer does. He has a plan to get from point A to point B. He has a manifest, a schedule to meet. He's actively involved in the journey, keeping watch along the way for potential hazards. Sometimes obstructions block the tracks and must be moved. He will blow or pull the whistle as needed. He has to know the curves, the hills, and tunnels along the route, and using ingenuity makes adjustments accordingly. He has likely run this route or similar routes before. In other words, he's experienced. He's been trained, play on words, and is qualified to operate the locomotive. To be a good engineer, he must run the train efficiently, keep operating costs as low as practical for the railroad company. Metaphorically, this translates to sound engineering. Sound in both senses of the word we mentioned earlier. And as a quick aside, if we think about the science of sound, a loudspeaker is of itself an engine, using electrical current to move a voice coil in a magnetic field, then converting it to acoustic energy, which is audible to the ear. And a microphone operates in inverse to a loudspeaker. This further justifies the definition of a sound engineer. At any rate, in the sound business, which we can expand to AV and other low voltage technologies, an engineer will do the following. We develop a plan, a solution, a design to fulfill a customer's needs. We'll execute the plan in a timely fashion. We use knowledge and ingenuity to craft the solution. We are actively involved in the project from inception to completion. If problems arise during the process, we alert the team and make necessary decisions and corrections. We are experienced, having been through similar processes many times before. We are qualified through background education and industry technology associations. And in all ways, we consider practicality, safety, and cost. So again, I ask, would you board a train knowing there was not a person in the locomotive responsible for getting you to where you wanted to go? Similarly, you gain great benefit by having an engineer involved in your sound, AV, or other low voltage project. If you'd like more information, contact us at gurus@aswav.com or give us a call at 770-716-7400. Till next time, this is Paul Christopher and this is Tech Talk Tuesday.